And you three can only watch as what happens next occurs. The Lich King raises his bony hands up into the air. The ofrenda, its casket, rises off of the ground with a green, etheric energy, undeath swirling to and fro, rising from the ground, permeating with the undeath it carries. As it gently lowers the casket's lid to the ground, it turns almost alive, sentient, coil-like, coming around as it then covers Lorelei. It seeps down into her, covering all of her veins. The necrotic hole that was there starts to sew itself shut as it finds itself inside, sealing it within. The green, the emerald viridian energy starts to permeate through those necrotic veins, starts to push itself up and up like a breath of air in a dead corpse's body. And as it does, it pushes itself ever further. Small breath releases from the lips of Lorelei. Her cheeks start swelling with blood again. Before her eyes open, Calliope, I need you to make me an insight check.
Oh gosh, okay.
Zurg, while they're doing that, can I also do like an arcana check to see if Awa knows what spell he's using?
Sure.
No, why is it gotta be a 2? An 8.
13. Okay, so with a 13, you can tell that this spell is nothing that you truly know of. It looks similar to true revivication, but the way it's being done, the processes that it's infusing into the host's body is unlike anything you've ever seen over in the Golden Commonwealth. This, while might have some of the similar hallmarks of magic you know, this itself is truly new magic. And Calliope, with an 8, you can see that your mother's, although your mother's chest wound has been sewn up, there's still remnants of whatever battle she had been in beforehand. There's small little scars ticked over her body. Her fingernails feel rattled and shattered. Her fingers heavily calloused on them with little rips that the necrotic energy has not been able to fully sew shut, but still glows with an otherworldly glow all the same. As it seeps through her body, it seems to have left her brain for last. And as it finally, after what seems like minutes on your end, Calliope, to everyone else but a few seconds pass, and suddenly the eyes flitter open. The same green energy wisps away like a smoke from those eyelids, now opened once more. And Lorelei rises. As she comes up from her tomb, the Lich King holds out his hand. He kisses the back of her palm and says, "Welcome back. The dance is not over, and you have a huge part to play."
Me, if I could interrupt, may I ask what this dance is?
This dance is the dance of the undeath. The procession must bring its song across the whole world, and your mother here will help with that. But before she does, there's a prologue that she aims to dance with me. Baymore interrupts as he strides forward and tries to clutch at her hand. She seems out of it at this moment, sort of like a person who had just woken up and isn't fully aware of their surroundings and isn't able to fully push back against them, though you see some sort of resistance as he reaches for her hand. The Lich King, however, already holding her hand, pulls her closer to him. No. The prologue has not begun yet. We are merely setting the stage right now. She has only just answered her call. She will need time before she can do anything as needed.
Can I insight him?
Yeah?
See if he's like telling the truth or if he has other motives.
For the Lich King?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, he's telling the truth.
Okay.
He's just like, dude, she just woke up. She needs time to adjust. Baymore, however, reaches his hand back as he says, fine. If that's how this will be, I can wait just a little bit longer. Your freedom will also wait a little bit longer than Lich King. That's fine. As long as this happens before the end of the day, we'll be fine. It will take time for this to activate again, after all. To you three, though, the offer still stands. Would you like to be rid of your curse? Would you like to join me in the procession?
Maybe some other time. Not right now.
We have another mission we have to do first, but...
Of course.
Make a deal with you later.
The procession will always be here, marching onward, and ready for you to join at any time. But first, I believe... And he's going to remove his hand, or not remove his hand, he's going to move his hand holding Lorelai's hand closer to yours, Calliope. I believe you would wish some words upon her, yes? She is, after all, your kin.
Yes, I would. And she's gonna just very gently reach out her hands towards her mom and be like, Is that you? Are you you?
It's a couple moments in between any, or not minutes, a couple seconds in between any response. And it feels like at first she's about to not respond again. Through the breath, you do hear her say, Kieran, is that you?
Mom, it's Calliope.
And the word sort of stops on her lips for a moment, as if like a hard gap didn't want them to escape. Calliope? And her hand grips around yours. It holds for another moment as she says, Calliope, are you safe? I can't see where I am right now.
I'm here. I'm okay. We're in the prison. The Lich King is here. My friends are here. Awa. You haven't met her yet. I wish you could have in better circumstances. But we're all here. Baymore's also here.
With that, her hand grips a little bit harder. Don't say that name.
Okay, I'm sorry. I won't.
That has power that I wish it didn't, but it does. Are you okay? Are you safe?
maybe not totally safe, but I came to find a way out. There's so much going on. I don't know where to begin. I think maybe I will be in time. But what about you? You're not okay here like this, but is this what you want? Did you want to be brought back?
Her eyes flicker for a moment. The wisps of energy die down and come back, almost with a sense of purpose. They look to the left and to the right, as if she's finally looking around her for the first time. Brought back here? This isn't the Grove?
It's not. It's an endless prison. We don't know why. I don't know why you're here. Everyone told me you were buried in the Grove.
She looks from left to right, soaking in the entire situation. Her eyes are writ with worry. And as she looks around, she has never let go of your hand. You are an anchor to her at this moment. But with her free hand, she covers the button holding up her apron. A button that you had seen before held an image or an insignia you had never seen her wear before, that of a tree. If this isn't... Oh, this makes sense. Calliope, there are moments of my life that you do not know about, that in a better world you would never have to know about. But it seems life has written a different story for us.
Would I be allowed to know?
I am... In a better world, I would not be here. In a better world... And she raises her head up to the sky, to where this soft, glowing light seems to just barely seep in, with a sun that should not be able to shine down to the depths that you are in, it still finds a way in. I should be up there. I should have shown you what I was protecting this whole time. What your father and I protected. And Baymore is going to attempt to step in. He goes, he never tried to protect that. It was me. I protected it alongside you. He never did anything. And before you say anything, her hand will grip and she commands, you will not speak unless spoken to.
Damn.
Baymore bows his head and sheepishly stands back. Obviously, it takes some more time for her to lose that will, I guess. The Lich King looks around. You can roll me a perception check.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep, you totally heard that as he whispered that under his breath. The Lich King, however, would look around, seeing what's happening, going, the air here is a little tense. This is a time of reconnection, of rebirth. And he puts both of your hands together again, where they might have slipped from telling Baymore off. You two, please, ask any questions you have of each other. I believe that there's much that you would know.
Maybe we should give them some space.
Yes, perhaps.
It's
Give
a
him
little
moment.
awkward to have a whole band and crowd, isn't it?
You look over
A
to
bit
the rest of
space would
the.
be okay.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Calliope?
If a little space would be okay, she'd agree with Allah and Dua.
The Lich King will look over at the entire procession going on before him. A army, absolutely stacked army of undead, sort of just sitting there, breathing the foul air of undeath. And as he says, "She is fated to join the procession anyways. I am more than happy to take my leave." As he steps back, he puts his hat to the floor and bows to you as he says, "It was a pleasure making your acquaintance and reconnecting the both of you." As he steps back up, he flips it back on his head and says, "All right, the rest of you, we wait at the bottom of the stairs. Let them have their moment. They will be with us momentarily." And they will...
I was gonna follow him.
Okay.
Yeah, because Awa has questions for Lich King.
We're gonna forget all these I need to take away the traps.
Now
So
Calliope
we're
can't
desecrating
step on them.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow down Awa, feel free.
Yeah.
Duoth, are you moving as well?
He's just keeping an eye on Mr. Man.
Got you. Let me move Lich King over here. However, as this happens, Badon is going to actually step up. You can see that he's pushing through his sprained leg. He has this fiery, intense passion in his eyes, though, and what once was a jolly smirk has turned into a soured grimace. And as he steps up, he looks over to Baymore and says, "You have so much to answer for." And he puts his arm in front of Lorelei and says, "And you will not have whatever you are trying to obtain here. You will suffer the rest of your life, pitiful and alone, for what you have done to us, for what you have done to her. Do you understand?" And Baymore simply steps back as he says, "Oh no. You have this brief respite, but that time will end. Soon it will be my turn, and I have waited long enough." With that, he rests against one of the pillars of the doorway with a satisfied smirk. Badon steps in front, and as he does and passes Calliope, he says, "Take what time you need. We're going to make sure that you at least have that."
If he tries anything,
Dijuan is also gonna step like right next to Baden.
if he tries anything, stick him where he stands.
And as that happens, Lorelei gingerly puts her foot to the steps as she steps down to you. "Calliope, you must have been through so much to be in a place like this.
You
I
have
didn't
no
want
idea.
you to..."
But I'm glad to at least
Tell
have found
me.
you.
You see, like, the corners of her corners of her mouth form a small smile as she says, "Then please, enlighten me. Let me learn of your life."
Well, I mean, after I left home, I met some friends and we traveled around for a bit. And everything was fine until we came across these things, these monsters, false hydras that steal memories clans, and we've been trying to put a stop to them ever since we ran into them. We've we've had quite the journey trying to get to some of the greater cities where this war is taking place, trying and save people, hundreds, from being forgotten and lost. We've run with pirates. We found a whole city that was under siege by, unfortunately, our clans. They decided that they'd had enough of the overgrowth of the city and took charge. It was all scary. And then we were told to come here to save a resistance of our people, but turns out we were lied to. I lost one of my best friends to this dungeon, and he's gone. And honestly, it's been so much. I was hoping to see you at rest, but then, while you're here.
Throughout all of that, you would have seen her face ride the roller coaster of the adventure that you relayed to her. From gentle, soft smiles to a furrowed brow, back to a soft empathy, as well as the sympathies for those that are no longer here. But when you mentioned the clans and war, her grip tightened alongside your hands. And this entire time, though she has been able to look around, she has never made direct eye contact with you. She's always looked above your head. She's always looked slightly above where you are, slightly to the left. It never directly locked on. And as she has been hearing all of this, you see her ears twitch and gather themselves with each new piece of information. You're telling me that war has come after all. But you have been through so much. You have survived. You're no longer the small child I once knew, that I tried to protect from all of this. You are your own person now, Calliope. I imagine through all of that, you've had to make very tough and sometimes regretful decisions. Even if I do not wish to be brought back like this for you to see me, like however I am now, I am gladdened to know your tale.
I am happy to see you again. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know of the rest of the family? Are they in this war?
As far as I know, they're protecting the grove. You all were. I don't have all the details. My sister traded all my memories of you to trade with this Hydra that we're trying to stop, and all I know from what I've heard is that you fell by the grove, you were buried there, and now the rest of the family is protecting that same grove.
Say that one more time. Fiona did what?
She traded my memories of you to this false Hydra in an attempt to get power for this war that they're fighting.
Whatever grip had loosened as you were talking and reminiscing has firmly retightened as that is mentioned. Fiona had no right to do something like that. No. With the oath that she took, she should have never entreated the Hydra's words, let alone made a deal.
I'm not sure what possessed her to do it.
It has been something I wish that I didn't have to bring you into, that you would lead a life apart from this. But it seems you have been roped in either way.
Please tell me what's going on.
I have to warn you, with what little left of my will I do have, if I tell you what is going on, things will not be the same. You may see me, you may see your family, you may see everything in a different light. I have tried to protect you from this, but you still can have that ignorance, that bliss, if you wish.
I'd like to know. I want to know why everything's happened, that you've ended up here. What's everything that's, I don't know, come to pass? I'd like to know the answers.
Above us, and she, is no longer really gripping your hands. You can see she's nervously toying with her own fingers, rolling her thumb through and interlacing with yours as she finds the words. This is the first time you've seen her stutter on a word like that, to be anxious and nervous, yet all the same, she seems to be opening up and vulnerable for once. Our family, that is, I guess a better way to put this, you understand how our people are nomadic. We are meant to take care of the land, to roam across Canacleth and be its steward, correct?
Of course.
And along with that, some of our families have certain duties that we make sure we are the ones to take care of when we enter said places. For us, for our family, our charge was Ganturan, the infinite cells. The lock of which, she looks up, is the grove. That grove up there of trees. There were 8 trees laid by the 8 Vale Lords themselves when they first created the nations. They stated that those who had laid the worst crimes against each of their nations would find a home in these cells, to be infinitely replicated and turn and twist on themselves, that they could never escape. Gantaran of the Infinite Cells is the prison for the worst offender of each nation. The Vale Lords are only permitted 1 prisoner per room. And it was up to us to protect that lock, to make sure that none escaped and none others would enter. With a charge like that, you would imagine that many would find it contentious to be given that power in this place, to have people of that magnitude tucked away in here. And so there were many times where we had to keep it secret to make sure that none others would come. And if they did, we had to protect it. But along with that, just near here, you see, though it is my charge to protect the grove itself also holds enormous etheric energy and potential, and it could do so much for the land. As we learned more about those coming to try and ruin nature, I was hasty in some ways. Go ahead and roll me an insight check on this part.
Okay. Please don't fail me. Okay, we're good. 25.
You see two things. One, that Baymore is watching with rapt attention through, with both of his eyes through the pair of bodyguards that have put up a wall in front of you guys. But also, when she says she was hasty, it comes with a sort of trepidation that she is herself not sure if that is the truth. She more so has sort of like unresolved issues on how she feels about this or what kind of state she was in. But she continues, I noticed the potential that the grove could give. Instead of it just being a lock, what if the aether spilling off of it was used to help the land grow and keep its place? And instead, everyone was bringing all of their ways to take over, to establish towns that rid the land of all of its energy, that drove... Oh, Calliope, if you could see them. There are so many species of animals that were driven, I can only think, to extinction from what they had done, from the homes that they ruined just to establish a mailing center, a post office. And so I entreated a rebel force to use the grove as a small headquarters. And what at first was meant to just be a way to provide shelter turned into more responsibilities. And Calliope, there's no easy way to say this, but I and the rest of your family, we waged war behind your back. Small though it may have been, we did choose with our heart to go past our post, and we wanted to rid the woods around us, our charges, of what we considered to be an invading force. And she lets go of your hands at this point. These hands have killed. The same hands I held my own daughter with. I've taken someone else's many times. I grew to regret it. And your father, bless his heart, he was the first to try and rein us back in, to remind us of our charge. But I was already too deep in over my head. People were after us. They would have endangered you if I had suddenly just stopped. I couldn't just stop. And I tried to let things go. I tried to bring things over to... She cannot say the name. It catches on her gullet as she does. There was another, my right hand, after I had been leading things, who had come up and had pushed me further and further towards that brink. I tried to leave it in his hands, but he always insisted that I had to be the one at the helm, that I had to be the one to pull the trigger, to shove the spear, to take that life. And what at first was a way for us to defend our home, to defend the natures and energies of the wilds, had become a battleground, waged in secret. And none of us could stop it anymore. I imagine it is for that reason that I am down here now with my own death, that the Veil Lord of Canugleth has seen me as a traitor. I do not know from where he came, Calliope, but you cannot trust him. He appeared one day and he seemed innocent and just another person ready there for the cause, but every word he has spoken, every deal he has made has led us further to death and destruction. And she clasps your hands again from where they had been twiddling with themselves. I don't want you to end up like how I have. A shallow husk meant to be used for others' whims. Lead your own life, Calliope, wherever it takes you, and remember that just as you are my daughter, everyone else out there is someone else's. You have made so many connections and bridges. I am so happy to hear of those adventures. But do not be like me. Do not be like Fiona. Do not put other people's lives into your own hands to make your own decisions with, like we have. It has cost us nothing but heartache and pain. That, Calliope, and she puts her eyes finally down to you, making direct eye contact, is the story of your mother, Lorelei. Tears
Calliope's
streaming down from her cheek.
Calliope's just gonna hug her tightly.
It's soft and slow to it, but eventually her arms wrap around you with an intent, as though it is of great willpower to even move her arms like that right now. I love you, Calliope.
I love you too. I won't let him hurt you again.
I don't know how you can with me brought back like this. Even now,
We'll
I feel
figure
myself
something out.
lost.
There's anything I've learned over my travels is not to lose hope. And
I
not
trust
to
that.
give up unless just not to give up. I'll
trust
find a
that.
way.
Yes. You can do that, Calliope. If anyone was, it would be you. Before this ends, though, you said you had a friend that you wish I could have met. Is he here?
He's not, but one of them is. And she'll kind of wave over to Awa and kind of wave them over.
Awa, would you come over at this moment, or would you rather stay and ask the Lich King questions?
Oh, I was hoping Awa could ask them while they were having their conversation.
It's unfortunately going to be a one or the other kind of question. You can still sort of do both, it just won't be to the same degree.
I think Calliope, let's see, Awa sees Calliope wave them over, and Awa does that thing where like they recognize what Calliope wants, but instead does like the waves back like, hey, still here. And doesn't move.
She'll look over
Lorelei-
to her mom again and be like, she's shy.
That's okay. Hey, your other friend. Tell me about them then.
Asius, he was this absolutely lovable person. He's a Yol and a Tiefling. I didn't know such a mix was possible. But he was the absolute sweetest thing. He was nearly as tall as a house. But he was the heart that drove all of this forward. He was definitely the glue that I think held us all together. And now that he's gone, it's been a bit of a struggle. A lot of a struggle. Just trying to keep moving forward.
It's always a struggle to put one foot in front of the other. But with each step you take, you find yourself further and further from that heartache. But also, what sometimes forget is it also puts you further from their memory. And it's harder to grasp onto and keep. Keep that fond memory alive, Calliope.
As long as I'm able to, I will. As long as I'm able to, I'll keep both him and you in my thoughts always.
I trust that you will. And as that happens,
well, I guess I made a new friend now in this prison. I wasn't expecting to. And she kind of looks over to Duath.
Duath, you are very much in earshot of all of this. You've heard absolutely everything going on. When Calliope mentions this, is there any action that you take? Or do you sort of stay stone-faced?
He nods.
Okay. As that nod happens, Lorelei looks to you and says, "You've always been very good at making friends, Calliope. Especially the bigger ones." As Badon also looks over and gives a nod. I wish... I don't have the words for this. I am happy that you have what you have. And he looks back, and then his what was a awkward grin. Too. What was an awkward grin as you say that, he looks back at Baymore, and the grin immediately sours as it turns into a frown as he goes, "Don't you do fucking anything." As that comes over, we will quickly reconnect over with the Lich King and Awa. Awa, the Lich King has moved his forces over to the bottom of the stairs. Mm-hmm. And as he does, you can see him look over them for a moment, sort of just making sure everyone's in order before he looks over to Calliope and Lorelei speaking as he goes, family. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
I mean, for some people don't get a great draw.
But they're still family although the same, no?
I suppose.
In the end, the fact that they put up with you is already more than some other strangers would handle, huh?
That's kind of rude.
I mean, in the end, we're all sort of assholes to each other. I know sure as hell that I wouldn't have liked me when I was a young kid.
I guess. I mean, when I was little, I was... I think some people would say tone deaf. I'd say differently audially challenged, but I would stop singing. Might have been a little bit annoying.
But they still put up with it the same, right? Did they ever sing with you?
No, I was kicked out like every day.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
And he sort of looks around. If you ever need a family.
Oh, you trying to get me to join?
I'm all about making the party bigger. What can I say?
Yeah, but that magic, that spell that you did, I haven't seen anything like that before. What?
Thank you. It's a spell of my own creation. You see, and he looks around. I don't exactly give this for free. Why do you want to know?
Well, and Awa leans in and is like, I actually really like the necrotic arts too. And they like summon a little bit of their necrotic energy, and their hand grows green as well. It's like, so I was admiring your work.
Ah, oh, wonderful. That's a beautiful hue you have there. Well, if it's and he cracks his bony knuckles against themselves. If you wish to be an apprentice of said necrotic arts, I suppose I could share a tip or two about how I did that spell. It's a spell of my own making, you see. It is the reason I'm down here, actually. But you... Correct me if I'm wrong. You seem like you're from the Golden Commonwealth?
Yeah, that's...
wonderful. And he puts his arm right around you. Then we're well done together. We are of the cut of the same cloth, as they say. I was a young bard over in the Golden Commonwealth back in its early days. And how can I say this? The people I adventured with were very, very good, much better than you could have ever hoped to be. That's just plain facts about it. They are amazing people. Until, kinda sucks, we tried slaying the final dragon and it didn't go so well for us.
Fuck, Zurg! Oh my god! Okay.
And, well, one of us went for their hoard a little prematurely. We call it premature looting. They worked themselves towards it and set off a certain amount of traps that slew the most of us, as his head rolls off his shoulders. Me as well! But I had a glyph, you see, and he points at the small little pebble inside of his, or attaching his robe to himself. And you can see that it has a large crack running down it. Inside here, I just simply tore a piece of my soul, put it inside of this emerald, and gave it a glyph of revivification. If should ever the rest of the 7/8 of my soul perish, this 1/8 would come right back in. And lo and behold, a little bit of energy, a little bit of maybe taking the rest of some other souls to stitch together to make a full one. I'm here! And just like that, I awoke and everyone else was gone. It seems I was the only one smart enough to put a plan like that into action. I wasn't even really a necromancer at the time. I was just a bard. I just wanted to fuck the dragon. But
you were just really smart about it.
I was the only one to have a backup plan, just in case. Part of the whole thing, the rest weren't really from the Golden Commonwealth, you see, but us from the Golden Commonwealth, we know that any deal that's happening, you sort of have to have a backup just in case things don't get honored or things go awry. And, well, I awoke alone, without a party. I still haven't found one of them to this day, but the rest, and he points over to specifically one of the large members, one of the drummers, and one of the violinists. Those three right there, they're my compadres. We have seen so much together. And I decided, why should I let them move on without me? If I was smart enough to come back, I'm smart enough to bring them along for the party. And so I continued along. And why should we even stop there? We could continue. And I honed that spell I learned. The sowing of souls is what it's called. And when you learn how to sow souls together, you are able to come out with a brand new one. A amalgamation of sorts, yes, but it, in essence, still has that same memory behind it, that same I don't know exactly how to put it, but they're there. And he points over to his friends. See? There. And you look over and all of the mariachi are going, they're still here with me, and I'm not alone. And so I continue throughout the countryside to the rest of the graves, sewing those souls together, stitching them as I may, to build up this party, to maybe in the future go back and find the last missing party member that escaped. Or disappeared, I'm not sure. But the dragon was still there. It still had to be taken care of, but when I went back, it too had fled. It's all quite a puzzling thing. But then I realized the only way to truly take care of this dragon, the only true way to get back there, is to have no one be alive. If everyone was too stupid to put a revivification on themselves like I was, they're all destined to perish and move on, and anything that they wish to do will be unfulfilled. As he looks over at Calliope, as Calliope is waving over at you guys, and you wave back. See? They had unfinished business with each other, did they not? They had things to tell each other, emotions to pour out, and even after this, it will still be too few a moment. Everyone has things in this world that they must do, and after that, you always do something else after. It's never just one thing. There's always another and another and another, and life itself is the curse that limits that. So if I could cure the world of that, we could all do what needs to be done. I could find my friend. You could do whatever the hell you need to do. She can talk to her mother again. And, well, the Veil Lord of the Golden Commonwealth didn't really like that. Said I was a crime against nature and the way things should work, and threw me in here. And anyways, that's why you never heard of the spell before, because it got probably buried the same as me as soon as I got put down here.
Awa clasps both of their hands together and looks at Lich King with the biggest eyes and breathes in and goes, "Oh my god, you're so cool! I can't believe that you thought about that all on your own and then you brought back your party. Oh my goodness! If only I could be as cool as you. And you know the importance of self-preservation. You need to survive because you need to survive. Oh my god!"
Exactly. See, and he starts giving the same energy back. At first, there is the hintest green blush under his cheeky bones before he too is like, "Yes, see, you understand. You have to survive. There's things you have to do. You can't just shuffle off this mortal coil. And other people are too stupid. They're too stupid to do the things that they need to do.
They let their emotions guide them, and it's so ridiculous because why are you doing this?" Oh,
exactly. You have goals. You have plans.
Yes.
See, and he puts his arm around you again. This is why I knew you were one of the good ones. You're from the Golden Commonwealth, same as me. We have good heads on our shoulders. As his skeletal head falls right off, and he catches it, throws it back on. Good heads. Maybe not the best necks, but good heads.
But strong backs.
Good heads, strong backs. Yes. And he slaps your back. As he does that, I need you to roll me a perception check. With a 9, you feel something rougher on your back. When he slapped your back, it's almost like there was some resistance to it.
Oh.
And then when you put your arm there, sort of instinctively, you notice that on your arm as well, it feels sharper than it normally has been in the past. Bring your hand back, and you must have put your hand inside the cube you had, because it's covered in this goldish hue.
Oh, it takes a breath and tries to reset themselves. Mimi like looks at the Lich King like eye to eye, make sure that their focus is on, their face, Awa's face.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if the Veil Lord was jealous of your spell, what are you gonna do once you get out of here? Are you gonna take revenge, or are you?
Oh, no, revenge is too... It's not part of the plan. You see, I have the vision in mind. And if he thinks it's still bad, I just continue it somewhere else. And eventually I'll have enough that when I finally march on the Golden Commonwealth, he can't do anything about it. I'll simply outnumber him in every single way. And if that means that I have to dig up every grave of every corpse, of every mage and other necromancer, I will make necromancer skeleton slaves. Do you get how insane that is to fight against? They'll raise their own armies of the undead for me. It's genius. It's foolproof. I am going to get everything I need, and then I just march on right back there. He won't know that I'm gone. Because that, and he points over to Baymore, he used to be in here as well, but he found a way out.
How did you guys...
And now he's able to come back in and out as he pleases. It's almost like there's just an open door in front of him wherever he goes.
But Lich King, how did you guys even meet? Like, what did he end up doing for you that you ended up owing him a favor?
Oh, it was the promise of escape. He entered my cell. I was still trying to figure out ways to enter cells. That train, he puts back there, that train goes nowhere. I go on it as much as I can. It keeps telling me there are other stops, and every time the doors should open, they don't. And he puts his hand sort of like instinctively up in front of himself. I see everyone else living their lives without me. And I'm unable to get off. I'm stuck on that damned train until I come back to this station. I always have to just watch. I can never be a part. But, catches himself. That is in the past. Because he was able to enter the train station, you see. He was able to figure out the way to open the doors. And now that I've brought him his one soldier, who will eventually be a part of my procession anyways, I still win at the end of this, you see. He's going to get me out. I'm still going to get my member of the procession. It's all going to work out. It's all according to plan. That is why I did it. Because in the end, I still get it all. I still win.
Lich King, I think he's tricking you.
What do you mean?
I don't think he's gonna let you out. And I don't think he's ever gonna give you Calliope's mother.
But we had a deal. You can't shake back on a deal. You said that yourself just before this. We know. A deal is a deal.
Of course, we do. Because we're of the Golden Commonwealth. But Baymore already betrayed our party. He betrayed his own clansmen. Calliope is part of his clan. He's known her as much as, as long as she's lived, and still stabbed her in the back. Can you really say with confidence that he's not going to betray you?
Can you give me a persuasion roll? This is one of the first times that you've seen doubt sewn onto his face. You're not even sure exactly how, but the expression is there nonetheless. But he promised. It is unseemly of a king to go back on his decision, even if he aims to try and pull one over on me. I have given my word. And that is the essence of what it means to be from the Commonwealth, to be a king. And so, I will stick to my word through and through.
I mean, as I see it, you've already done your part of the deal. He can just leave now without fulfilling his.
Be that as it may, if he does, you can tell he's at a loss for words about this part. He's not exactly sure where to take it. You can tell that he wants to make a decision. He is about making a decision and moving onwards for his plan. And this is one of the first big road bumps he's had of just trying to say the correct words that won't make a rebuttal come from your lips.
Awa sees that and says, "My king, why don't you just ask him to let you out now?"
I suppose you are correct. I have done my part of the deal. I have been gracious enough to let those two re-catch up. But it is time that I got my payment. And he puts his hand out. Thank you, kind citizen. I look forward to the day you join my procession.
Awa puts their hand out and is like, "Anything for a fellow gold GC Earth." And I hope you'll have me. I telling you, it is. Whew. My vocals are seriously special, and I believe that.
Wait, sorry, that was
I have one last question for you.
Before you have that question,
Yes.
as you reach your hand out, he takes it, and he notices a goldish hue. What is that there? He takes your hand, and he pulls it closer to him. Puts his other hand out, pokes it, notices as it scratches along, and he pokes it a couple of times. Are these? He looks up at you. You're a human, aren't you?
I will be honest with you, Lich King, for the first 27 years of my life, I believed I was Goran, and just found out I was not. So.
Goran, you are human. But, and he looks down at this, but these, why do you have scales?
Before we entered Grand Turan, there was a not a cabinet, like a pantry of magical items, and I think I just brushed one of them.
Give me a deception roll.
Technically, nothing I've said is a lie.
You're trying to imply that it is an effect put on you. With a 19, he looks at it and says, "It is not my place to make assumptions of others, especially who have helped me through my own trying times. I hope that whatever curse seems to have been laid upon you will not last unto undeath."
Oh, yeah, me too. Humans have short lifespans.
Exactly. I aim to collect soon. But until then, he finishes shaking your hand and says, "You had one final question?"
I did. Why? So I've met some of the other prisoners, and they also talked about dragons. Why was hunting this dragon so important to everyone?
Oh, it was different for each person who went about it. For some, it was the mass amounts of treasure that they had and the power that it came with for having felled one of them and having a trophy for your own. For others, I don't know, maybe it was about like claiming the land or saving people or something. Everyone has their own reasons. There used to be a blight on the land. They would take over places. Their sheer presence would alter the landscape to their own layers. There were some dragons where, for miles, just being near one within that range would make it so that everyone would be just thrown into an ever-existing rage. Others, where you were forever paranoid, where you could hear whispers behind your back, and the dragon could witness every living thing that was in their domain. They are beings of immense power. And some don't really take kindly to that. Doesn't help at all that they have massive amounts of wealth that they hoard over hundreds of centuries as well, that any who could claim their life also claim a wealth for generations.
But you
in the
want
end,
to have
everyone has
sex
their own
with
reasons.
it.
Well, I mean, it's, like I said, everyone has their own reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fault you. Look at that big guy over there. I think he's dragonborn, but he's pretty good in the sack.
The Lich King looks over at him and goes, a little too small for my tastes.
What?
But I get what you mean.
That was muted.
He has the features. I love the guttural.
God, I was unmuted, sorry.
No, you're good. He looks to you though and goes, but hey, that other dragon's still out there, and I am over that urge now. I would rather avenge my friend and find him. I can always do something else with that later on. I have new goals.
I hope you find them.
Thank you. I hope whatever your goals in life are, that you can complete them, and any that are not, I promise you, when you join my procession, you will be given the resources and time to make sure that they are all complete. And with that, he starts to step away. This is also an important moment. Awa, you are about to let, from at least what you understand, to let the Lich King rejoin the surface world to escape the infinite prisons. If that happens to him or to anyone else in this prison, the land of Ivraia will change. This is your moment where I'm coming down as a GM to just reiterate that. You can choose if you want to have a final, wait, kind of moment, or if you believe that he should be taken out of this prison to allow him to activate his plans however he can.
Honestly, what's going on through Awa's mind is, first plan, Baymore's not gonna let him. He's gonna betray him. Second, if he does actually go through with him, Awa thinks that they could take them down. But it wouldn't be now. It'd have to be a little bit later, even after they've amassed a giant army.
Okay.
Oh, and I did want to ask if I could do a perception check on him to see just his level and stats, especially since they had talked a little. Just
I
now,
cannot give you
one.
all of those, but roll me a perception and I'll see what I can tell you.
Yeah.
That answers that.
Awa was distracted by every thought that was going on. They were formulating plans, so they didn't think about it.
You're like, okay, so if he does this, then maybe I do that. Then oh crap, he already walked away. Ah shit. But he continues walking away, back over to the main procession. And as he does, he says, he starts clapping his hands together, going, "All right, wipe away any tears. The king is back. It's all okay now. However, meeting time is up and over for now." And he looks to the both of you.
Actually, so much.
I hope that you are all okay.
I think so.
Good. Then we have things to do and places to be. I will, he pushes over, be taking her back.
Calliope gives Lorelai one last hug.
Lorelai hugs you back as she says, "Whatever becomes of me, remember me for who I am now and who I was before, not who I will become. It will not be me anymore."
I'll always remember you.
And the Lich King grabs her hand as he moves away. You can see that as he looks back, he has a reassuring grin plastered over his skull as he moves over and says, "All right now, could you move out of the way kindly?" "Thank you. Now, Baymore, believe we had a deal, and I believe I have been willing to accomplish my side of the bargain. I am ready for my payment." And Baymore looks over at him as he says, "And you can guarantee that she will do what she needs to do?" "Oh, of course, of course. As soon as she is out of here, whatever is left of any rebellious spirit that you do not wish will fade. And she will do as you need her to do. She will be your figurehead. She will lead the armies as needed. In fact," he gestures a hand over her as the green energy flows surging through her veins. "She will be one of the most charismatic leaders of the entire resistance. She will be able to pressure them into anything that they need to do and anything that must be done once we reach the surface." And Baymore says, "All right, that's all I need." Lich King, to you and your friends, your army, I thank you, and I am ready to close our deal. He looks over to Calliope and Badon and everyone else as he says, "We need not be hostile towards each other. The offer still stands. I can let you escape right now. Just join me. Your mother is with me now. She'll be leading my armies. I will stay in the shadows while she is a glorious figurehead, and you can be there right beside her, taking all of the glory back for Kanagleth. Don't you want that? To be with her?"
As much as I'd love to be with her, may I think about it for a moment? I have one last question I'd like to ask my mother before we go.
All right.
And I'll go over to my mom and just whisper to her, "How do we get out?"
Ooh. Your mom. What does she know? She knows this. Excuse me. She would whisper, "The pearls are a lie. They were a false key set to have the inmates running and tripping over themselves. The only real way to escape is to understand the greater nature.
So the whole reaching out to that other planar hand that he went on about, that's the right way to get out, right?
I'm not sure I understand that. I don't really know how to get out. I'm sorry. That's just what I was told when I was given guardianship of the grove.
Okay.
That I must understand the greater nature to escape if should ever I fall in. I never wanted to go in, so I never really paid it attention. All I know is that the pearls are fake. They are a false key, and that anyone who is trying to go over those is a fool.
I understand, thank you. Just promise me you'll keep fighting against him, his willpower, before you. If there's
much as I
anything you
can.
can do.
As much as I can.
And she'll start stepping away again. After holding her hand real quick, and go back over to Vaymore. She's gonna.
Well,
How about you get us out first, then we'll talk.
how about I sweeten the deal a little bit so we can finish this here and the now? You have your own war you're fighting, right, Calliope?
I do.
Don't even want to take part in what's happening here in Canacleth. That's fine. I've made my peace with that. You can be just like your father. Turn your back on this place. I don't care. I just don't want the bad blood coming for me. So, name a prisoner. I'll open their jail cell, and they can join you in your war. You're already letting one get out. What's another? I'll have the jail cell open their door right where you need them. Those hydras you're trying to kill out? What are they to one of the worst prisoners this world has ever seen?
We've already got someone we're taking with us.
All right.
Just step closer. Be like, you've already told me the way out.
I have.
I don't.
You've always been able to escape.
Which means I don't need you to escape. The Lich King
No.
doesn't need you to escape.
No.
So what's your worth here?
My worth is showing you that the door is open. Just like
always
when
has
you're learning
been.
in school, you've always been able to do those things. You've always been able to perform. It just takes a guiding hand to show you in the right direction. And he lifts his hand up, and with nary a moment to spare, you just go like this. And he waves his hand as he shrinks smaller and smaller and smaller. And along with him goes the Lich King.
Oh, fuck.
Along with him goes the entire procession. And finally, the only one still there, slowly growing smaller, slower than the rest, is Lorelei.
We kill her.
No.
Remember the greater nature, Calliope. You are greater than what you seem. until
Kill
she
her.
too
Kill her.
We'll be
shrinks away.
we'll be right behind you.
Badon looks as he goes, this shit again. So now they're not even letting us out.
There's a way out. There's something about just understanding more than this place, more than everything. I'm sure there's, I don't know, there's gotta be a way to do it.
I suppose. Oh, get over here.
What did she tell you? What did you ask her?
I asked her how to get out. She said just to remember the greater nature, that there's everything, I don't know, everything is connected, we could probably go wherever we wanted if we just understood. I mean, nature is everything. Nature is the world, the universe, time. So maybe it all has some connection. Maybe.
Oh, is it like a tree? Do we just like need to close our eyes and reach out for the branch that leads us out of here? Maybe, like if I wanted to think about getting to insert place that we're supposed to be at here, and like just close your eyes and reach. Like, I'm not here. I'm actually over there.
I think so. We could always give it a shot. Are we going there or? Look, I know everything's messed up over there, but I mean, this is my mom. She's being painted as this figurehead for all this fucked up shit that Baymore wants to do. I know we've got all these Hydras to deal with, but if I can, I'd love to put a stop to him too. If we know this trick, maybe we can just go wherever we please.
If I may, you have Necromancer Mariachi, this guy who just took your mother. What is this about the Hydras?
These false Hydras, they're these man-made creatures that take memories, and so anyone you've ever known just disappears from every memory. We've already lost I don't know how many people to these Hydras, and that's the thing, we don't know how many. It's just all these memories are gone along with them. The Hydra destroys everything, and there's an army moving across wherever we're supposed to go.
I just don't remember the cap of the city, okay?
The capital in the other country is called start with an A.
Oh, with an A? I thought it was with a B. So
Well, okay, never mind. Armagh. You're trying to get to Armagh.
Armagh.
yeah, it's in the Vindagian Empire. See, I need
Vindagian
that.
Empire, yeah.
Armagh.
Armagh. We're trying to stop these Hydras from... There's an army. Someone's building an army to destroy just everything. I think they're going after... Geez, I don't know, Zarunta probably? They're just... Everything's gonna be gone, and no one will be left to remember what things were before.
But you are worried about your mother and
I am.
whatever they're doing. It seems to me that you're gonna have to pick your fights.
I don't know what to do.
Calliope, you realize you're going to have to kill her.
What do you mean?
You're going to have to kill her again. Did you want to stop her? How did you think it was going to happen?
I thought maybe after killing Baymore, and I guess if we deal with the Lich too, then that power's
The one that
gone,
has
right?
Control over her.
I did not think he would do it, so I misread that. We definitely need to kill the Lich King.
Okay. Do we
Do you-
switch gears? Do we
You want to
wanna-
prioritize that. Don't ask us, tell us.
I'd like to free my mother from whatever this control is, whether it's Baymore or the Lich or whoever. Even if she does pass away again, at least she's at peace.
Alright. Well, then let's get out of here. And I've decided I'm no longer here. We're outside.
I want each of you to roll a d20.
Oh my god.
Is it actually like that?
Oh wait, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone.
Okay.
I hope
Oh,
the DC
baby.
for this is low.
Yeah,
I
me
hope
too,
it's
man.
really low.
Yeah. So does Duoth.
Duoth can roll above a 10 apparently.
He keeps trying.
He's trying his best.
Calliope, you are the one to hear this inside your mind's eye. Sorry, the words, trying to also remember exactly how to phrase this. Small flashes of the greater nature. The weird rant that Baymore gave before, where he said, like, you must raise your hand. Remember, there's a greater part to yourself and everything. They sort of come flashing in at different moments, until finally a new voice enters your mind. Does my shadow wish to move?
Yes.
Your arm springs up. So does Awa's. So does Duoth's. So does Badon's. Nudge sort of like nuzzles closer to you, Awa. But they too sort of like look around as they're moving not of their own accord. The arm moves, and you hear in your voice again, if my shadow wishes to move me, I will move where my shadow needs to be. And you all start shrinking. As you start shrinking and looking around to each other, the world grows infinitesimally larger and larger until it is no longer distinct shapes or colors or even textures in amongst themselves. It is, for all intents and purposes, just a thing, as it conglomerates and globs into its own mess. It ceases to even be that part of the reality. It's weird. Your brain is not exactly sure how to comprehend what is happening around here. It's not just that things are getting bigger, it's that they're morphing together and becoming a single entity of a space. And as you grow ever smaller, you then notice that other things start growing bigger around you. Where once there was that space, now things start growing larger and upwards. From your feet at first, but then all around. Space itself bending and twisting as you find the gaps and the small holes in the matter itself just easily slip on through. And for a brief moment, Calliope, you notice a being that you are intrinsically attached to. Could you describe the room that you're currently sitting in?
Oh, I knew it was gonna be fourth wall shit. It is a bedroom. There's 2 monitors and a very odd person crying on a mushroom plushie. And there's a cat and a lizard hanging out. And it's kind of messy.
And for whatever reason, you are not sure how, but there's this connection betwixt that person at the screen and yourself. There is, it almost feels like your feet are connected to their feet, your hands are connected to their hands, but whenever they move, so too do you. Except in this case, you're the one in control, and they are moving to appease you. And slowly, but surely, you all fade from the existence of Gantaran. You grow larger, and that person, for that brief moment, wisps away. You still feel the connection, you still feel the intrinsic connection as though you are their shadow, but for once, the shadow moved the being, not the being moving the shadow. And as you grow larger and larger and larger, a blinding bright sunlight is there to meet all of you as you find yourselves back out in the open world.
We did it!
Well, let me reload.
Just a sec.
Okay, I gotta reload.
I'm getting. Oh, you
We're
have to
in
reload?
darkness.
Yeah, you're in darkness right now.
I'm reloading.
That part is true.
Darkness.
No parents.
Kind of rich. Trying to mix it better.
That hour.
That's all, yeah.
I wanted to be clear, Awa is tone deaf. They cannot sing. I just want to make sure you guys understand that.
But you absolutely could. You would be fine.
Me
You're
as
just
a person,
role playing the
I
character.
I fucking kill it in karaoke.
Oh hey, it's the Calmer Forest again.
The mushroom.
Yeah.
The mushroom plushie.
It wasn't washroom we brought us here.
It was.
As you grow further and further out, the blinding sunlight matches all of your eyes, and it gently fades away and dies down, I guess is the right word for it. Or actually, no, it wouldn't be blinding light right now. Oh my god, it's 11 o'clock. We just missed 11:11.
Oh, love and make a wish.
So it would be blinding moonlight in this case. As darkness surrounds you guys, but you're able to see trees, you're able to see carved wood paths, and you're able to see mushrooms off in the distance.
Is there a unicorn?
No, there's not a fucking unicorn.
Well, not that we know of.
You're right, because you guys all fuck. Anyways, in the glowing moonlight,
True.
you recognize that you're all out there, outside of the prison, outside of Gantaran, and you're, from looking up at the moon, can tell that you're much further west than you were originally. Duoth, this is the first time you have tasted free air in, you can't even tell how long it's been.
Oh, he's gonna take a step forward away from the group, close his eyes and take a deep breath as he's looking up at the sky and the trees, and takes a deep breath. He exhales and he just plops onto the floor.
As you take that breath, cold, crisp air fills your lungs. The autumn, November air almost coursing with a magic in of itself. It feels good. It feels new. And with a sudden air of relaxation, of exhaustion, whatever Duoth would call it, you plop onto the ground. Calliope and Awa, you see Duoth lying on the ground looking up at the stars above, the moon riding right on overhead. You would also notice that the moon right now would be in a waxing gibbous. Awa, it looks like it's about 1 week's time to a full moon.
Shit. first. Awa goes to Duoth and like pokes him with their shoe. Are you alive?
Are you okay?
I'm feeling more alive right now than I had felt in God knows how long.
Oh my god, that's the longest sentence you've ever told us.
It's surprising what some fresh air does to you, isn't it?
Welcome to, Ivraia.
Awa gets down and like stares up at or like lays down next to Duoth. We need a break.
Does that sound like a bad idea?
Yeah, too much shit all at once.
No kidding.
How are you guys holding up?
Calliope just flops on the ground with them and just goes, not good.
I thought you said not gay for a moment. I was like, damn.
How are you feeling? Not gay. Man, shit's gone bad.
Yeah.
I'm the straightest I've ever been.
Damn.
Disaster truly stroke.
No, the only thing that shoots straight with me is my arrows.
I love.
Okay.
That's funny.
Alright.
Duel sits up and looks at Awa, then looks at Calliope. And he goes, well, I have you too, and the other big guy to thank for getting me out of there. I appreciate your assistance.
Is he there with us?
Is who there with you?
Bador?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I should drag him in. Yeah, Badon's right with you guys.
I was gonna be like, oh my god, we forgot the kid in the grocery store.
Here, I'll put him on for you. There he is.
Nudge is there too.
Nudge is also there. Funny enough, actually, your steed is not there, Duoth.
Funny hee-hee or funny ha-ha?
Hee-hee?
Funny,
Funny weird.
Yeah, funny
Funny weird.
Well, it's someone's steed.
I mean, we're staring up at the stars and the moons right now.
Duel is just gonna quietly think, like, on summoning him. Just quietly think in the back of his mind. If it does anything, it does anything. If not, he'll just find it again eventually. Because it's just summoned with a spell.
Alright. While he does that, I think Awa thinks about it. It's like, so Calliope, you want to go stop the Lich King now, right?
I mean, yeah, if that's okay. I mean, if you guys are okay with that, or I can go on my own, whatever works.
Well, judging by the moon, we have 7 days to meet the people.
Why 7 days?
Oh, so catching you up to speed. Those hydras that Calliope told you about, there is an army about to be unleashed on a whole country. And if that happens, that country will cease to exist, both in being and in memory.
Let's test it on another image.
Will make a lot of history
Import the image
relevant.
inside the smart object. Resize the image and press Ctrl and S.
Don't think it's
Get back to your document.
to unleash
That's it for
things
today.
that tamper with your
Please
memory.
like the video and subscribe for more free
Will you be able
tutorials.
to remember.
Sorry,
Decision
really
for
quickly.
History is a
Some
whole.
Sorry to interrupt you really quickly. Something just really weird happened with my audio. One second. You might have to back it up like 20 seconds or so.
Okay.
Oh, it's my headset telling me that I have to plug it in. Well, okay. I have to find a charger after this. That's fine. Hey, sorry about that.
You didn't charge beforehand? Man.
I just got home. Sorry about that. Feel free to, if you could back it up like 5 seconds or so, I think then we'll be all good.
They were explaining the whole conundrum with the Hydras to Duoth. And it was like, I personally believe that people should be able to keep their memories, good or bad. So that's why we're kind of going to help another group of adventurers stop these things.
Well,
you're free to come.
Out here.
I know you just got out, and what we've been through, I know you just got a lot of trauma dumped on you and family issues that, so I mean, I'm down for relaxing somewhere for a couple hours, a day maybe a day and a night, 1 day, 1 night. Soak some feet.
1 day, 1 night, preferably at like a resort of some kind.
With a king-size bedroom. I don't know what you want, but
I think he might need a double king.
free breakfast and Wi-Fi.
What is Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi are wishes from fairies. They don't have that much influence, though. It's like, can I get a cup of water? Okay.
Okay.
It's more like a valet service.
As they explain that, Duoth, you would, maybe it would come to your mind, but the Paladin's Oath would definitely be there at sort of like the back of your head of protecting those in danger.
Well, if you are going to stop this war, I also do not think history or anything that makes people forget should be tampered with. And I did swear an oath as much as I have ended up down there. I do wish to help and protect people, but I will join you in your war efforts. You'll have me.
Nawa pokes their head up and looks over at Calliope. I assume you're on this other side for some reason.
Yeah, we're all
Just the way you guys were
laying.
placed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, well,
I mean, the more the merrier. We're gonna need a lot of help doing all of this.
yeah.
Baydon will step up at this moment as he says, I was supposed to only come with you to free my freedom fighters. I still had my own war I was summoned to fight with. Baymore has my son.
Oh, we're definitely killing that son of a bitch.
Yeah, we're hands down. Baymore is dying no matter what.
Yeah, I was about to say, go back to your son, dude, but first of all, we're gonna get you medical treatment for that.
Yeah.
And true medical treatment, and then we're getting you back to your son.
Mm-hmm.
He looks up at the sky and Baydon. He looks up at the sky and you can see a steady and resolute grimace wobble and give way.
Oh my god, is it
Baydon at the start of this was a rock, and through the events of the Ganturan has irreversibly changed.
Oh.
He
Calliope's gonna give him a hug.
He smiles at that and holds you close, but then puts both hands on you and pushes you back with the others as he says, I would want nothing more right now than to put my arms around my boy like you right now. But looking up at the sky, we're on the other side of the entire country. It will take time. And Baymore, for all that I distrust of him, do not believe that he will put my son in harm's way without knowing that I am there to hurt from it. And from what I hear, there is a greater trouble that I am closer to and can help with. If it was between an entire nation disappearing, an entire people disappearing, and my boy,
Don't
I
say
know
it.
what he would prefer.
Don't.
It is not a guarantee, and I can always come back. He's strong. He can fight with himself. And it seems like an enemy like that, you would need all the help you can get. Would you want me to come to Armagh?
I would only want him to come if like he gets his leg healed.
There are definitely healers along the way, and Armagh itself is known as the capital of invention and ideas. Not invention, the capital of ideas. So there's definitely some way.
Would Duat know that?
Yeah.
I feel he would.
Duath, yes. You would know that Armagh and wow, you would only know Vindiga. You would not know the Vindigian Empire. You would know that Vindiga was known as the birthplace of thought. That people would go there just to try and like brainstorm things.
Well, people are always trying to think of things. I'm pretty sure there would be a way. There would be somebody where we're going to figure out a way to help him. Surely.
I leave the decision up to you. I don't want to be a burden, but I do see a greater need out there. And it would take quite a while for me to ride back alone to save my son, who I'm pretty sure is probably fine without me right now.
I believe it would even be more dangerous for you to ride back alone, especially how you are right now.
What would you
We'll
have
get
me
you
do
patched
then?
up. We'll get you patched up. As much as I'd love to deal with the Lich and my mom and Baymore, you might have a point. If this war is gonna destroy everything anyway, I don't know, maybe we should finish what we set out to do, and then whatever happens, you and I will ride back together and we'll deal with Baymore once and for all.
Sounds like a good plan to me. And he puts his hand out to shake yours.
I will shake his hand.
He goes past the hand to the forearm, gives it a very tight squeeze as he pulls you in close and gives you a hug and a pat on the back.
Aww.
Whatever happens there, I know you would be there for me, so I'm there for you.
We got this. We'll be okay.
You're right.
Do whatever it takes.
Exactly. Because it has to be done. And he looks up to this midnight sky and says, all right. That being said, let's not forget this moment where we are here right now. And he's going to go to one of the tall trees, rip off a sizable branch as he goes up to the mound that Duath was sitting or laying down on, and he plants a stick into the ground, and you can see with like a small carving knife, he carves some runes into it. Let this mark the place that we all finally got to see the world again and made up our minds on what we aim to do. Let this be a memory for the world that we will not forget.
Right.
Duvat's gonna smile and go over to where the stick was put down and kind of like grab the dirt and make sure it's like steady.
All right.
Awa hides behind Duath and cringes. Too sentimental.
Okay.
But like, they need it, so.
Listen, I'm a giant. I build mounds, but I can't.
Yeah, again, I was cringing about hiding it because like they obviously need this, but I was just like, ugh.
I was like, "Ah, this isn't the plan.
Would Calliope have anything of Asius's honor?
Who? You still have his bandana.
I think Awa has it, yeah.
Awa has it?
Yeah,
No,
after the very first one shot, they switched. He had Henry's bandana. Awa took Asias's.
That's right.
Oh, sorry, I meant Henry's. The one that Asias was wearing when the blast happened, because you reached your hand out to Calliope.
Oh, right.
And you were able to grab that bandana. So it is Asias's, but yes, it is also Henry's. Calliope does have that bandana, I believe.
In that case, she's gonna take that bandana and wrap it around the stick. And just quietly thank Asius for helping them out, and in a way, hopefully this, now he can be of the earth again in his own way too.
It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah?
We know that as Asias's bandana, and now no one else is there to remember Henry.
I know. Rip.
We'll only have whatever he said in passing.
Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much it.
It was pretty much like a name. Yeah.
Yeah. Badon will smile and like help reassure that the bandana is tied around the stick. As he says, I didn't get to know him long, but I will remember him well. Now, if we aim to meet to Armagh, we have a ways to go. We should probably get to it. I believe the nearest town should be right nearby. Maybe we can rest there for a day or so and regain our footing.
Sounds
like
good.
a plan. Except you are not in any shape to be walking around. So let me just summon back my big guy.
And that's fair, that's fair.
He's gonna whistle, and this time the group will hear Duath be like, Baragon, get back here. As the ox just like...
And the ox sort of materializes from the air itself, small blue strands recollecting and weaving one another until it's just there as going...
Big guy needs a ride.
And it lowers its head, and to normally one steed would always be too small for Badon, he has finally found a steed more than big enough for himself. As he nestles on and goes, thank you, I appreciate it. And you guys ride off over to the west to make your mark on a city and to continue your adventure, leaving behind the secrets of Gonsaran, leaving behind its prisoners and whatever machinations others may have been doing down there. And as you leave, a stick with a bandana around it lies at the top of a mound in the heart of Canocleth, being cast upon by its moonlight and glistening in the night sky. When a white, large neck slithers past it, pushing it down to be forgotten, and a face looks behind.
Oh, you bitch.
Delicious memories.
No.
And from there, we fade to black, and we will find ourselves where they land on the next session of The Pierced Heart. Thank you guys so much for playing.
That was fucked up.
I felt so bad. The stick was a moment that was always going to happen, and then you did the whole bandana thing, and I'm like, the entire time I was sitting there going, oh fuck, oh, this is gonna be so mean.
No.
Badon was always gonna do the stick thing. He was always gonna do the stick thing, and then the snake pushing it down because it's the whole symbol of memory and everything. That was pre-scripted, and then you just added it to make it worse. And I was like, oh, this hurts. This hurts so much.
Why do this?
So rude,
Oh my god, Zurg, please no.
dies.
Everything we touch gets fucked over.
It's fucked over, dude.
Oh
and
my
funny
god.
enough, because you guys left early in that prison, holy shit, there's some shit that's about to go down over there. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, man, if we could keep talking till it resets. But
yeah, dude, we were so close to it resetting. That being said, let me load my map. You guys have found yourselves through Gansaran. You were here. Oh, did it get rid of? Oh, no, because you went in, you technically skipped some sections of that. Just a second.
that's
You
right.
guys
Unlock the
also
map. Give me my XP.
wind up. I'll give you your XP after this, okay? You find yourselves. You guys find yourselves here.
Okay.
Fine steed.
Fine.
Wait, are we still in Kunaclith?
Yeah, you're in Canocleth. I said you'd be near the edge. You're near the border. The border town is literally this.
Can we be on the other side of Ulrich?
No.
No, that's
You guys
where
went
we're
from
going. That's where the hot
you guys went from
springs
here
episode
to there within a day. That is
That's where the
how
hot
good
springs
that
episode
shortcut
is,
was.
Valerie.
What?
Damn.
I never said you would be on the other side of Ulrich or you'd escape Canocleth. I said it would bring you right to the border.
Have to go through the border?
Yes.
Oh my god, guys, we're never gonna make it.
You are 2 days travel from the border to Armagh.
Never gonna make it.
Okay, I got you. We just have fake passports and we cross the border. It'll be fine. It'll be Gucci.
That being said, you guys are in between 2 towns. 3 towns even. Here's where I'm gonna be a little bit mean again.
Oh no.
The border town, you might notice, is not near any coastlines.
Of course not.
If you want a beach episode, the one that's right next to a beach is over here.
Wait,
Yeah, but what if hot springs, guys? Think of the hot
What if
springs.
hot
what about hot
springs?
springs?
And it is called RST for a reason. It's the rest town. This is where all travelers' amenities sort of ride, and this is a very specific border patrol town. This is like a border town that was meant to just bring people up and through.
Oh, damn it.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Since Awa has traveled a lot before, do they know the border process?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
absolutely. Also, because you have traveled, I'm going to give you a history roll. if you really want to try and not go to rest and maximize your time. There's a chance that there is a hot springs in Ulrich. This will rely on. Hey, whoa, holy shit!
No, I was making the roll, man. I don't care what you were saying. I was making the roll.
I was gonna say well, now I get to say any number I want.
That's true.
and say if you passed it or not. So, because you rolled without me, the DC was actually 19. So you get nothing. So I was gonna say 18 for it, so you barely just met it. Congratulations. There is a hot springs in Ulrich, and there is a beach over at Rest. You guys can make your choice of which one you'd like to go for, and I will prep that for the next session. Which one would you guys like to go towards?
Let's be efficient for once in our lives and go to Ulrich.
I vote for the Ulrich hot springs.
Okay.
I was set on hot springs.
Dude, I'm so upset too. I have to make a new party token for you guys. I just remembered who's there.
No, leave him there.
No,
it's fine.
fine. It's
Nope,
fine.
it's being updated. I'm updating.
Yeah,
I'm updating him. I'm updating him.
That is just ashes to the left is fine.
The hue shifted.
It just shifted. So I'll prep Ulrich for you guys. There will be a hot springs in there, but there is also the rest of Ulrich. So make whatever of that you will. And I'm gonna pause the game here as you guys officially roll over into midnight. So the way that this is gonna be working, you guys have let the Lich King and Baymore free of the Gansuran. They will be doing things behind your back as you continue this adventure. That will be a continuing story in of itself. And technically a one-shot has just appeared, but I'm not going to unveil it to you guys because we're going to get lost again and we're going to finish this damn arc. We're going to do it. Anyways, I'm going to prep the rest of Ulrich. From there, I want to reiterate a thing that each square here is 5,000 feet. Can I? Okay, so you guys can hear me. I cannot hear you. I do not have a mic anymore. And because of that mic, I cannot hear any of the sound. And I don't think the stream can either, except for my voice. So, hey, this is funny. Cool, good to know that you guys can hear me at least. So this is the way it's gonna work because I have to plug in my headset and everything. We were at the end anyways. We're all good. The final little ribbon for this all, even though you can't hear the music or anything, is Ulrich is a border town. It is the border between Armagh and Canocleth. Famously, there's a lot of trade disputes between these two, a lot of things happening along that line, and a lot of people come through still. Expect a lot of economic stuff. Expect a lot of things for you guys to buy, sell, or do while you're in there. But ultimately, or what I was doing is that there is 5,000 feet in between each square. 5,000 feet to miles is the big thing because 5,000 feet is just short of 1 mile. So you guys, just to reiterate what you guys can do. Yeah, I know stream cannot hear the music, unfortunately, because I can't hear. If I don't fix my headphones, you guys can't hear anything. You can only hear my mic. Marching distance for D&D party is something to be considered, that you guys can go about 4 miles, 5 miles in a day. So just know that going forward, we're back to the marching order thing. You guys were able to do a skip, but it does not mean you are free of everything. So you guys can get to Ulrich in a day, but then if you want to go any further, you could probably go like at most over here. And then you should be about 2 days away from getting to Armagh if you're able to get past Ulrich. So know that going into it. And until then, there's nothing else really to fill you guys in on. So I'm going to start prepping for that. If there's any bits that you want in there in the town, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I will be prepping a hot springs portion of it that you guys can go into. But thank you guys so much for playing. This was a crazy adventure. I'm so glad that you guys were able to go through the Infinite Cells with me. It is a really fun dungeon, at least for me, to run. And even though you didn't uncover all the secrets of it, I hope you had a fun time exploring it and seeing what was all in there. There was a lot of cool storylines that I thought we got to do. So thank you guys so much for that and going in there and having a fun time, really making it your own in there. It was a really fun experience running that for you guys. And hopefully the next stuff coming out is going to be just as fun and cool. But then in that stead, because we're having technical difficulties and stuff, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you come out to the next one. The next one might be the daggers, actually, so we'll continue back with that heartache soon enough. Also, yes, you do guys get a level up. You do get a level up. That is true. You do get to level up. So thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. Thank you guys so much for playing. And in the next session, we'll have a leveled up party going to Ulrich to have some hot springs fun and see what other kind of antics they get up to. Until next time, bye!